Welcome to Parenting Matters Now, a source of parenting advice a few minutes at a time. Who is the most important person in the home? Hi, it's Dr. Roger Smith with Parenting Matters Now. That seems like a tricky question. In fact, it is kind of a trick question in that there's no singular person that is most important or singularly important. But you would think that with a parenting-focused podcast or parenting-focused program that I would say the children are, but I would say that they are not the most important. A home is really about the family, and the family has to have parents. It is very important to keep in perspective that you have children for a period of time. Childhood has an expiration date on it, so to speak, and that the children grow up and leave the home. And so that says that the home is not primarily about the children. The home is primarily about the marriage. And it is so important to not get all the emphasis and all the attention on the children. And how can you tell whenever maybe your emphasis is misappropriated to children to the exclusion of the marriage? Here's one clue. Whenever you're in conflict, who are you in conflict with the most? And who do you go to solve the conflicts? So if we see our spouse as someone we're constantly in conflict with, we're trying to tend to the children and we're in conflict with the spouse, then you got the wrong teammate. The teammate should be your spouse in that you are tending to the needs of the home together, and that there should be a focus more on that relationship, and the children benefit from that focus. And the teamwork that can be created by focusing on a healthy marriage and a healthy spousal relationship, that would have the overflow benefit to the children. And so where we try to go primarily to the children and tend to their needs, and we're always focused on them. And yes, you look at your schedule, and a vast majority of your day is dealt with, clothing and feeding your children and meeting their schedules and getting them to places that they should be. But where is it that you want to be when you have slack in your schedule? Do you want to be with the spouse, or do you want to be with the children? And it's hard to say, all of it kind of gets rolled into one. But I would say that question about conflict, who do you find yourself in conflict with more? And it should be that there's less conflict with the spouse because you're together fighting the issues that you face with the children. And not that you're in conflict with the children, but they present a lot of issues and a lot of decision points. And so that where you work very hard to stay on the same team with your spouse, that helps you to address the issues and the decisions with the children. Sometimes that looks like taking time away from the children, having an afternoon together, going away for a night or a weekend, and let someone else take care of the children for that time so that you can have some focused time together. That's not always a possibility to have time away, but can you create windows of opportunity to where it's, if you're both early morning people, can you get up before the children, have a routine of starting in the morning or in the evening if you're night people, or finding some time where your schedules overlap, and it could be to the exclusion of the children for even just 30 minutes. 30 minutes can make a big difference, to have a commitment to one another, that you will talk to one another about things that are important in your own personal lives, not related to decisions with the children. And so I've had friends in the past that have made a commitment to sit on the back steps for a half an hour every evening. One of their rules was, we cannot talk about the children or decisions regarding the children. We're going to talk about us. We're going to talk about things that are important to us, things that we're dealing with in our own lives, are looking toward our personal future. And so those are some ideas of how you can prioritize the marriage inside a home that is very busy. Find little windows or pockets of time where you tend to one another and you care for one another and you listen to one another. The marriage is more important than the children, because if the marriage fails, the children suffer. The children pay the price for a failed marriage. So work on it, protect it, help that plant to stay alive. So when the children are gone, you have a fruitful plant that will be healthy and for years to come. This is Dr. Roger Smith with Parenting Matters Now. Subscribe to Parenting Matters Now for more advice, or go to rogersmithmd.com to search for more topics. See you next time.